Welcome to the Effortless English Show with the world's #1 English teacher, AJ Hoge, where AJ's more than 40 million students worldwide finally learn English once and for all, without the boring textbooks, classrooms, and grammar drills. Here's AJ with a quick piece to help you learn to speak fluent English effortlessly.
I'm AJ Hoge, author of Effortless English. Learn to speak English like a native. Our English conversation challenge begins now. Big improvement to your English speaking in just 3 months. So we are going to make a big improvement with this challenge. I encourage you, join the challenge. Join this challenge. Join it. If you haven't joined it already, join right now. Okay, because we've got a lot of people joining this challenge. A lot of people joining. I'll show you in just a minute on Gab all the people joining. But a lot of people. This is a big challenge. Probably going to be our most active challenge, our biggest challenge, the most energy, and hopefully the best results. So what is this challenge? It's free. Everybody can do it. Anybody can do it. What you do is you go to my Gab account. If you're watching the video, I'm pointing to it on my screen. Gab.com. AJ Hoge, AJHOGE. That's my profile. That's my account on Gab. You just go there. Follow me on Gab. And you'll see on my Gab page, there's a link to our group, the Effortless English group. That's where you want to go. You want to go there and join that group. It's also free. And add a video. Okay, in this conversation, we're going to do videos. So, yeah, I know some people are a little nervous about that, right? What kind of video? Well, the first video, which you need to do now at the beginning when the challenge starts, right? Day 0, day 1, is you make a video talking in English for 2 minutes. So 2 minutes of talking in English. You can talk about yourself. It doesn't matter. Talk about anything. But just talk for 2 minutes or less. If you're really struggling, if it's very difficult, you could talk less than 2 minutes. But don't do more than 2 minutes. 2 minutes is enough for the beginning video, the start video. So make your video and you put it somewhere online, maybe YouTube unlisted. So everybody can't find it, only people who have the link. Or you could put it on Google Drive or, I don't know, wherever you want to put it. And then you want to post it on Gab so everyone can see it in our Gab group, just our Gab group. I'm going to show you right now. If you're watching on video, I'll show you what that looks like because we have a lot of people have done this in the last several days. We got a lot of people. Okay, let's see. There we go. And yeah, move my different camera. Sorry, guys. Okay. So this is my Gab, and I'll show you the Effortless English group. It's right there. Okay, so you can see this is what the group looks like, Effortless English, on Gab. And I'm going to scroll down, and you can just see all the videos people have posted. Here's the guy, Manuel, with his video. His start video, day 1 video, or day 0 video. Here is Abdallah. Here is Isadora Sa. Masad, I think it's Masad is his name. And Meerkat. Right, Damien, you can just see lots. It just Maxim Kolosov, sorry, Kolesov. Kura. And just on and on. So you can see a lot of people. Computist is the guy's profile name. Paolo. This is fantastic, guys. Really great, all you guys. Here's Annale, and she did hers with Carol. So she knows Carol. And she did her chat with Carol for her day zero video. Fantastic. Right? So just on and on. Look, you can just see. I mean, this just keeps going. There's a large number of people doing this. Okay. Samiha, Cho Young. Oh, Cho Young, I recognize from our VIP meetings. Oh, and here's Sansi. Like, here's Vladimir's asking for people to chat with. That's the other thing. You'll see a lot of people here on the group are saying they want to chat, right? They're ready to talk to other people and practice, which is great. Sultan here is day zero video, Imperk. It just goes on and on. Eliana. So this is a great way. Sarah, who we know very well. And you can see Sadeh. Oh, and here's one. Safikula, by the way, if you're looking for a conversation group, he's got a very nice open group. Okay? So we had a very interesting chat recently in our VIP meeting. And we talked about different conversation groups where you can practice your English with other people. And he has a different way of doing it than Carol. I've mentioned Carol many times. Carol's got a very successful group. Has been going more than 2 years. Very active. It's awesome. It's kind of a closed group, meaning it's a small group of very active people. She does a really, really great job managing it, and she's got a great system. But with Shafiqullah has also created a successful group. And he's got a quite different system. It's more open. It's a large group of people. But it's working also. So it's just kind of whatever way you want to try. But the cool thing is you can ask him if you want to join his group. And it's been going well. And I recommend that you get on here. And if you're interested, join his group. And then you can meet a lot of people to chat with on his group. Or just if you see, here's Arun Sri. If you can see on people's day zero videos, you can just, if you say, oh, this guy or this person seems nice. They have maybe similar interest. You could leave a comment. You can comment down here on Gab and just say, hey, I'd like to chat with you. Let's practice English. Let's chat. Right? So this is how you can find people to chat with. All right, because you want, during this challenge, the goal is to chat in English, to talk in English as much as possible, okay? You want to talk to as many people as possible to get as much practice as possible. So it's 3 months. This is 3 months, the challenge, and we're going to try to do a lot of chatting with real people. That's the whole point of this challenge, is lots of conversation with real people in English, okay? That's why it's called a conversation challenge. So this is really about active speaking, active conversation. Masfal. Anyway, you can see here's there's a Dikle, Anton. Anyway, you get the Shipikola again. Melhem. I won't read everybody's. You get the idea. There's a lot of people. It's a lot of people joining. And you can still join now. You can join if you join a little late even. It's fine. But just jump in, and you've got to meet people, obviously, to make this work. You're going to have to meet people and to practice with. So you got to get on there, and you can form your own group. You can organize your own chats with people. There's lots of ways to do it, but I think the easiest way is just to get on the Gab group. You can see there's so many people doing the challenge. Everyone doing the challenge needs to and wants to talk, right? They need to talk to other people. Maybe even every day, hopefully, in English. So all those people are looking for chat partners. So, again, it's gab.com. Follow me on Gab, and you see the link in my Gab page. On my Gab page, you'll see the link to the Gab group, to our Effortless English group, and that's where you put your video. That's where you can connect with other people to chat with. And when you chat, use whatever. You can use Skype, you can use Line, you can use Zoom, whatever you want to use. Doesn't matter. Phones. So join this challenge, okay? Make a big improvement in 3 months. I'm doing the challenge in Japanese. So I'm joining you in this one. I'm doing it in Japanese, and I use italki, the italki website, to meet people to chat with in Japanese. But for you guys, there's so many people already in our group doing this challenge together. You can just talk to each other. So that's a great one. So join now. It's going to be really great. We're going to make a big improvements. In 3 months, if you talk in English every day or almost every day, you have conversations with people almost every day, after 3 months, you should see a big improvement to your speaking and listening too, right? Because you're having conversations. You're practicing both listening and speaking at the same time, which is fantastic. All right, so that's just the purpose of today's show, is just to launch, to start our challenge officially. So I'm encouraging you, get on that group and join us. Come on, join it. Make a big improvement. You got to take action. You've got to take action. I know it's a little scary at first, okay? I was nervous a little bit to make my video in Japanese, my day 0 video, because my Japanese isn't very good, but so what? Who cares? Okay? If your English is not good, it doesn't matter. That's the point, is to improve. Right? If you have perfect English, you don't need to do this. If you have perfect English, you don't need to do this challenge at all, right? You're already perfect. And actually, a few of our VIP members who are very good at English, they're very high level, are actually they're trying other languages, right? Carol's doing German. And we've got people doing Russian, couple people doing German. I'm trying to think of any other languages. And I'm doing Japanese. So that's at least a few. So, if your English is super high level, you feel very good about your English already, you could try it in another language. But, of course, most of you are doing it in English, which is great. All right, I'll just get to questions and comments now, because we'll just chat, and I'm going to try to, this show's going to be a little short today. I just wanted to start this challenge. Okay. Okay, let's see. Lots of people saying hello from different countries. Lots of people from Brazil. We got Panama, Dominican Republic, and then throughout Asia. Okay, Soccer Short says, I'm talking every day in school for 6 months, but never seen improvement. Suggestions. Yeah, are you having real conversations, or are you just doing like exercises, like kind of, basically kind of fake activities? That's what a lot of times, speaking in schools, a lot of times you're just reading out of a book, or it's very controlled, and it's not natural at all. It's not a real chat at all. So that's the problem, one of the many problems of classes. So this is not school exercises. This is real chats with other people. So you just get on, let's say Skype, with another person, and just talk about anything. Talk about your life. And this is why it's useful, because you don't really know what the other person will say. You've got to figure out how to say things that you struggle with. You're going to find a lot of weaknesses in your speaking, probably. You try to say something, but you don't know how to say it. That's a good thing. Write it down and then find out how to say it, right? And maybe learn some new words and phrases. And so this is a very good chance to make improvements. So that, I would say, that's what you need to do, is first of all, these are real conversations, so not textbook exercises. And number 2, when you're having problems for example, saying something, you need to make a note and then go find out how to say it. Like, let's say you can't remember, you want to say that I used to, be an engineer. I used to be an engineer. And maybe you don't, but you know it in your own language, but you can't, engineer, like maybe you can't remember, how do I say it in English? What's engineer? So you need to write it down in your own language. And then after the chat, go look it up. Look it on, you can just get on Google Translate. You can find a dictionary, whatever, and then write down, learn that new word, engineer, in English. Or maybe used to. Maybe you're not sure about that, how to talk about something like that in the past, and you could, again, research it. Okay, so you can use it, each conversation, you can have some notes, and after the conversation, maybe you research, or maybe you look in a dictionary, and then review those new words, review those phrases later. You could use Anki, you could do gold list. So I think that this is something I'm finding myself in Japanese, because just talking is definitely helpful, but after a point, to keep improving, I think you need input and review also, because without that, you can kind of get stuck, right? Like I've been doing this 1 month already in Japanese, and just recently feeling a little stuck because I just talk about the same topics a lot, which is good, but I haven't been reviewing enough. I've been spending all my time just talking, not enough review time for I'm learning all these, I'm taking all these notes. I get huge, pages of notes of phrases and new words, but the problem is I don't review them. I'm not reviewing them enough, so I'm not remembering them, so I'm not using them, right? So this is a problem. So it's kind of, you got to find that balance of input, output, of talking, but also you need to still have some time to keep listening to your lessons and review the vocab and review what you're learning from the conversations. And you just got to find that balance of doing both. If you have a lot of time, you could, do each one, an hour, every 1 hour of each every day would be great. If you don't have time, then maybe you just got to figure out how to do it, right? Ibrahim Ali, good to see you. Ibrahim is doing his challenge in German, I believe, along with Carol. Oh, lots of people from Brazil. Priscila Candido, good to see you. And Ibrahim's asking, how's my challenge going? It's going very well, very well. So I'd say when you start talking a lot, so I've done a lot in the last month, I've done, I guess last 3 weeks actually, I've done, probably about 4 times a week I've done an hour of talking in Japanese, sometimes more than that. So what's good is that the vocabulary I already knew, kind of, the passive vocabulary has become more active now, which is great. So I'm finding it a little easier to talk using what I know. But like I said, what I realize now is, now I need to go back and review, because after all those, 3 weeks of all those conversations, I have these long lists of vocab and phrases and that the tutors, the conversation partners gave me, which is great, but I haven't reviewed them enough, so I haven't really learned them. A few I remember, but most of them I have forgotten, so I need to go back and do more review time. So so you just have to figure this out yourself, as I said, right? How much, you just got to balance talking, but also you need to make sure you have some review time, some listening time, some, keep doing your VIP lessons, keep doing, Power English lessons, whatever you're doing. You need to keep that input coming in too. So this is a challenge, but you can do it. Fernanda, good to see you. Fernanda says the challenge is a great opportunity to improve your speaking skills and also your public speaking. It's a good point. It's a fantastic exercise. I've improved so much with our previous challenges. Yes, people who have done our previous challenges have had very good results. In fact, Carol's group started with, I believe it was our speaking challenge we did a couple years ago. And really was successful, and people made big improvements and created these groups. And Carol's group has continued. So we did a really big listening challenge. That was our first one, and that one was also quite successful. So people who do these challenges get very good results. So I recommend joining this one. Okay, Moblet says, good morning, AJ. Do you think it's effective if I'm listening more to real English material Taking down notes of real English phrases, even I'm not talking that much to people, just to myself. That's absolutely, it's totally fine to do that. It's just lots and lots of input. Yes, it's effective. Absolutely, 100%. It's just this challenge, we're focusing on conversation. I think eventually at some time you want to start talking, right? So it's fine to have a bunch of hours where you're focused on listening and reading and input like this. In fact, you always want to be doing that somewhat, right? And then you just decide when you're ready to speak. Some people are happy just to wait a while for speaking. They really enjoy just the input only. And then other people are more motivated. They enjoy more talking a lot right in the beginning. That's what I have noticed. And I've noticed about myself, I think I'm more motivated by talking early. I was avoiding it and doing just only input, but got bored with it. So you just got to know yourself. But for this challenge, we're focused on conversation, okay? Each challenge, like we did a listening challenge before, which was only listening. We didn't talk, really. We weren't focused on talking. Some people still talked, of course, but it was not our focus. But this time our focus is conversation with real people. Okay, we'll just do a couple more chats, and then I got to go a little bit early today. Is being a YouTuber a well-paid job? No. I don't. I make almost no money from YouTube. Almost none. We have these little memberships, which are nice, but basically don't make much money. My business is not from YouTube. And I don't recommend YouTube as a business. YouTube takes a lot of the money. You can't trust YouTube. They might just delete your account if you say something they don't like. Do not build your business on YouTube. I mean, I use it, but my business does not depend on YouTube. Oh, cool. So Abraham here is giving us a report about his German. He's doing German instead of English. I had 2 chats in German so far, one with Fernando and one with Carol. We were speaking like babies. Is that Fernando or Fernanda? Anyway, we were speaking like babies, but each conversation was short because our vocab is limited. How can you make the chats longer? Yeah, well, this is hard if everybody's a beginner. That is, just have short chats. It's okay. The way to have it longer is it's probably helpful to have a native speaker because they can sort of give you vocab as you need it and kind of keep the conversation going. So in Japanese, my vocab is pretty limited to maybe 500 words, something like that. Like really where I can actively use. That's not much. So, but when I talk to native speakers, these people are used to talking to beginners. And so they do a good job of having topics. They show pictures and I'll describe them and we'll talk about the pictures. And mostly the good thing is they all know some English. I can just ask them, how do I say this? Because a lot of times I'm trying to say something. I'm like, how do I say that in Japanese? And then they'll tell me. This is how I learn a lot. So it is helpful actually to talk to native speakers sometimes too. They can give you longer conversations, and they can really give you lots of vocab and phrases. So, talking to someone who's a native speaker, or at least someone who's quite advanced, can also be helpful. It's fine to talk to other beginners also. It's great. But you might want to try to, maybe Abraham, you guys might want to get on italki and find some Germans, maybe just once a week or something, or even just once every month, depending on your budget. Talk to a native speaker, and then continue talking to each other also. So you can do both. ROA, How can you improve in just 3 months? I won't listen to all these when you read the comments. I don't know what that means. But anyway, how can you improve in 3 months? How do you improve at anything in 3 months? You have to practice a lot. How do you improve it? I don't know. I don't understand the question, honestly. Somebody says, it is about 2 weeks that I started improving my English with some native people. But we just talk by messaging. I mean, by writing, not speaking. Will it affect my It's still good. Will it help my speaking? Yes, it probably will help your speaking. It's easier because it's slow, right? You can see the message, go slowly, understand it, and then you can think about what you want to write. Everything can be quite slow. So the messaging's fine. It's not bad. It's good. You can message in English for sure. That's fine. However, for this challenge, we're focused on actual speaking conversations. So if you're joining the challenge, Sumaya, I encourage you, please add speaking also. Continue doing your messaging, which is your text messaging. That's good. And then just try to do some chatting also. Yeah, okay, so Monica says, I have conversations on Cambly, which is a website. I've heard of the name Cambly. I don't know anything about it really, but right, there are a lot of websites out there where you can find conversation partners, including native speakers. If you want to talk to other Effortless English members, it's free, so that's why I recommend the Gab group, because you can do a lot of practicing and chatting, and no money. But if you want to talk to some native speakers, then you might have to pay, or you might have to do an exchange, So it's up to you. Is it necessary to think in English to speak well? Ask Fabio. I think it certainly helps, but it takes time. So just do your best. Do your best. How can I make a lot of vocab active? Asks Ahmed. Well, yeah, this is the challenge, right? There's the passive vocab, and then you want to get in there and you want to activate it. And doing this challenge, I think just talking a lot, having a lot of conversations helps activate your vocab. That's what I've noticed already myself, is that that's the improvement I've seen. In 1 month, I've seen definitely an improvement in my active vocab. And the other thing that I've noticed an improvement in 1 month has been I'm just very relaxed talking in Japanese now. Like I said, I was maybe a little shy about it before, shy, not really nervous, but just shy kind of. And now I'm not. I'll just talk. I don't care about mistakes. I just talk. In fact, I'm better in Spanish by far, but I don't know why. Maybe because I learned Spanish in school or something. I still can be kind of shy about talking in Spanish. Japanese, I'll just talk. I don't care about making mistakes. I'll just talk and using my little bit of Japanese. I don't care. And that's a much better way. That's a better attitude. It's just to be playful. Don't care about mistakes. Of course, you want to improve your mistakes later, but overall, just try to communicate while you're talking, and it can be very enjoyable, even at a very low level, even at beginner levels. You're actually talking and communicating in the language, in English for you. And that's great. It feels great to do that. So that's why I encourage you to do it. I think it's very motivating to do this. After you do this a few times, maybe you're nervous the first time, but after you do this a few times, you'll find that it's quite enjoyable. It's nothing to worry about, nothing to be nervous about. And this alone can help your English speaking a lot by just getting rid of any nervousness, getting rid of hesitation. So you just jump in and you're just happy to just jump in and chat and talk anytime to anyone. And that just changing that attitude can really help. And that can give you a big improvement in a very short time, because it's more of an attitude change. Yeah, Second Mirror of Life says, getting improvement means to get into the battle of English. Hi, my friends from India. Yeah, just to jump in there and just start enjoying it. I think that's a nice way to do it. Just play with it, enjoy it, have fun with it. Okay, just a couple more and then I'm going to go. What time is it? Yeah, I'm going to go in a few minutes. I'm pretty... let's see. Abdelhamid says, I'm particularly fond of the American accent, and I excel at it. Nice. Mind you, lately I've been watching and listening to Hoge's lots of British programs. Therefore, I notice a transition in my accent. That's kind of natural, yeah. If you're listening to lots of British, you're going to start, maybe, you might start picking up and copying a little bit of British. It's fine. This is a good question. Cesar says, is it necessary to speak English fast? No. I can speak well, but slowly. Nothing wrong with that. There are plenty of native speakers, Americans, British, whatever, that naturally speak slowly because of their personality or whatever reason. Just some people speak very fast, and some people speak medium, normal, and some people kind of naturally, they're just slower speakers. I probably speak a little more slowly than normal, just naturally. So that's fine. You don't need to speak fast. Not necessary. If you speak well, that's great. People understand you. Yeah, there's no hurry. Okay? There's no point in forcing yourself to try to speak fast, right? Of course, they're within reason. If you're really super slow because you're thinking and struggling to talk, you're like, well, I went, that's painfully slow, then yes, you need to speed up a little bit, become more fluent with time. But if you just naturally have with your fluent, it comes out, you're speaking well, it's a little slow, it's somewhat slow, totally fine. In fact, probably people can understand you better when you speak a little more slowly. So don't try to force yourself to speak really quickly. There's no point. You don't need to. Mind over matter. Bodon says, mind over matter. Let's go for the challenge. Professor Mustafa says, is there scientific evidence that listening to English while sleeping has an effect on learning English? Not that I know. To my knowledge, no, but who knows? Oh, this is amazing. Pablo, wow. Pablo Robles says, I agreed with my wife to speak only in English between us. The improvement is amazing. Wow, so that's going to be a huge amount of practice for you. That's great. Wow. So that's great. Yeah, the improvement is amazing. I'm not surprised. Impressive. Tiago says, hi. Sending you hugs from Brazil. I listen to your podcast and love it. God bless you for helping us. Thank you. Thank you very much. Am I Russian or American? I'm American. Asked Tareen. All right, a couple more, and then time to go. Oh, okay. This is Abdelhamid says, I've been planning to learn German for decades, but I was always procrastinating and postponing it. Is it better to start my learning from listening? Is there any issue if I brush up on my English and German? If you have time, you can do both. Why not? And yeah, you probably want to try to do a bunch of listening in the beginning, especially, but you can jump in and try to talk in German, speak German, right away is also fine. But you need some input, or else you're not, so you need some way to get input to learn new things, right? From listening or reading. Listening and reading are the best ways to do that. Okay, so Ibrahim Ali says, this is a good question, because I've been thinking about this, and I decided the answer is no to this question. He says, are we going to count our hours on the website you used before? We're not going to count hours this time. We're going to just focus on results. So of course, better results will come from more hours. So, right, but we're just instead, and I'm following kind of Benny Lewis and his system here, what he's doing, and I highly recommend his challenge that he does in foreign languages, other than English, foreign because he's Irish, and he's a native English speaker. So I'm doing his challenge, which is in Japanese, and there are people doing all kinds of languages on his challenge. It's very good. And so I think we're going to focus just on the results, meaning we're just going to make videos every month, and we're going to show our improvement, which is the real test, right? So you do as many hours as you can, as you want to, but rather than focus on hours, and just who's got the most hours, let's just focus instead on getting that result, right, of actually improving. And since, here's the good news, Ibrahim, because you're like me, meaning you're a beginner in German, it sounds like, and I'm still beginner level in Japanese. The good news, when you're a beginner, you can show a significant improvement fairly quickly, right? When you only know a little, it's not very hard to double your ability, for example. When you're advanced, as you know, it can be very hard to make a jump, right? You're still learning and improving, but the improvements kind of become smaller and smaller. They're less noticeable. But in that beginning time, if you only know 500 words of German, and in 3 months you jump up to 1,000, you just doubled your vocabulary in 3 months, and that's right. So it's quite a dramatic, quite a significant improvement. So that's the good news, Ibrahim, for you and Carol and Fernanda and anyone else. If you're doing or any of you who are beginners or lower level with English, or maybe just your speaking's not very good yet, you can see actually some very significant big improvements in 3 months. Ahmed says, what should I do if I feel that is enough for me with the language? So if you mean like if you feel you're already good enough, well, relax. Do something else. I don't know. You want to be active so that you don't lose it. So you try to continue listening and reading, but you can be very relaxed. You could learn another language or do some other activity or whatever, right? Once you're happy with your level. Cool. Johanna says, good evening, AJ. This is John from VIP. I have done the 6 months Power English program. It was amazing. It changed me from scratch, from 0 to intermediate. But still, I can't get the freedom of fear. Do this challenge. Do the challenge. Johannes, do the challenge, because that's probably the easiest, the fastest improvement you will see is you will overcome any fear or nervousness. You just jump in, and after you have 10 conversations, you should notice that you're starting to relax more, right? I have already, and I've had 14 or 15 Japanese conversations. I think 15 maybe. And like I said, I need to review vocab because I have, but the improvement I have seen has been I'm much more relaxed about doing it. And that's important. That's an important improvement, because when you relax, you start to enjoy things more, right? Autumn Kamalov says, I'm studying your Power English course. I finished 18 lessons. I started to speak English. I can speak casually. Is it normal? Awesome. Yes. Jump in and do the challenge, Adam. I think you are, right? So jump in and do it. You're ready. Jump in. Keep going with Power English, but jump in and do the challenge for sure. For sure. Do it. All right. I'll take two more, and I'm done. I got to put a limit. I got to go. Sorry. I'm a little bit busy today, so I can't go too long. Okay, great. Oh, hello from Rizwan says hello from Pakistan. Thank you. Here we go. Here's a little bit of confirmation. Raphael says, I have tested this learning English while sleeping thing. I can confirm 100% that after a few weeks, my English improved exactly 0%. Yeah, that's my guess, is that it does not work. Listening while you sleep. I think it's better to listen while you're awake and focused and concentrating. It's much better. Cool. Oh, Aberdamane22 says, I went for the speaking challenge that took place a few years ago. I advise everyone to go for this one because it's going to be a gas. It's going to be great. Yes, exactly right. Like I said, the last time we've had, I guess, 3 challenges. We had a listening challenge. We had a speaking challenge, which was more focused on like shadowing, right? Not so much conversations. And we did our consistency challenge. And people who did them all got quite significant results. Why? Like, why is the challenge helpful? I think it's just helpful that sometimes we can't always have high intensity, right? We can't always do a lot of extra work because we get tired, we're busy. So it's not easy to do this, for a year, 2 years, 3 years constantly. But for a shorter time period, like 3 months, for me, I find 3 months is kind of the perfect time. 3 or 4 months, somewhere in there. And it can really help to kind of like put a lot of extra energy into learning English, into doing something for about 3-4 months. And then you can see a nice jump. You get a nice jump of improvement. And then it helps your motivation because I'm getting better. I'm getting better. And I kind of made a nice jump up. And then you keep going after that, of course, back to your normal everyday, listening and speaking and improvement. And the other thing that's helpful is that you're doing this with other people. This also helps the energy. It helps your motivation because you're not alone, just kind of doing it normally. You've got all these other people who are joining in together, and I'm helping you, I'm coaching you, I'm encouraging you and doing shows about this topic. You go on Gab and you meet all these other people who are doing it. And there's a lot of this group energy that can really help your motivation. It helps you do extra. It helps you do more than normal, right? So there is something quite helpful about the group effort, the group challenge. So that's why I encourage you to try it. Like you can see, we've had several comments of the people who have done this in the past that they've all gotten quite good benefits. Yeah, like Fernanda says, I think everyone will improve. Definitely you'll improve. All right. Okay, this will be our last question. Elbeck says, my question is how to avoid laziness. Good question. When I started my assignment, I was very lazy. Help me, teacher. Yeah. I struggle with this same question. How to avoid laziness. I'm a pretty lazy person, to be honest. Might surprise you, but I am. I think you got to make it enjoyable. It's the answer I always give is that the way to avoid laziness is to make something enjoyable, right? Because if something's not enjoyable, if the way you are doing it is not enjoyable, it becomes very hard to keep doing it. Yeah, you can get a lot of energy and force yourself to do it for a while, and then you stop because it's like you're fighting yourself every day, and you don't want to do it anymore. So I find that what works for me is making the activity fun. This is why I like with the Japanese thing. I just like chatting with people. I like that. It's fun for me. It's much more fun. It's much more fun even than listening to podcasts or something at my level now. I get bored with all that, just passively listening. So I find that just talking to real people and taking notes, and then I like the goal list method too. I probably get bored with it if I did it too much, but in limited amounts, I quite enjoy it. I find it relaxing. So I've found these two methods that are enjoyable for me. Or maybe a better example, something physical like jujitsu. I really love jujitsu. It's physically difficult, mentally difficult, and emotionally difficult, but I love it. I thoroughly enjoy it. If my body would let me and I had the time, I would do it every day. I would probably train twice a day and try to be a professional. But can't really do that at this point in my life, unfortunately. But I would, because I love doing it, even though it's very, very hard. So it's the same thing with exercise. When people say, oh, how do I make myself exercise? Well, you got to find some kind of exercise that's enjoyable to you. You've got to make it enjoyable. So, for example, I love walking. I just like walking around outdoors. So I don't need motivation. I'm not lazy about it. I want to do it. So sometimes people try to force them, like people get an idea, like I gotta lose weight, I gotta get in shape. I'm gonna make myself do powerlifting, and then they go to the gym, but they hate the powerlifting, and they really don't know what they're doing, and they don't like it, and they keep trying to force themselves, and then they quit. Maybe they should just try a different activity. Maybe they would like swimming better. Maybe they would like cycling, bicycle riding better. Maybe they would like running or just walking better. Maybe they would like push-ups and pull-ups and things like that better. There's so many ways to exercise. Maybe they would just like to play soccer, right? That's also good exercise. So you just keep finding ways to do it. And this is the same with English. You got to find the kinds of activities and the right schedule, so that it's really relaxing and enjoyable. And then the laziness is not a problem. All right, I want to end with Fernanda because she mentioned jiu-jitsu. She said, I figured out one of my good friends is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's Brazilian. Yay! Awesome. That's so cool. Yeah. Black belts in jiu-jitsu, they're tough. They're very impressive. It's not easy to get a black belt. I'm telling you, it's not easy. It's a long, tough process. So, yeah, that's really cool. Say hi to your friend. Tell him, os. All right, guys. Gonna go. That's all. Join the challenge. So, to end, the final thing, to encourage you, if you're watching on the screen, gab.com, AJ Hoge. Follow me there. You'll see a link to our group, the Effortless English group. Join that group. And put your video there, your day 1, your day 0 video, 2 minutes, and then join this. Talk. Meet other people and talk to people every day if you can, or as much as you can. Maybe not every day, but try to talk a lot. Just chat in English. Make mistakes. Don't worry about it. Chat. Talk. This is going to be a great, great challenge. We're all going to make big improvements. I will see you next time. Mwah. Bye for now. Join my VIP program at effortlessenglishclub.com.